Greetings, everybody. It's a Friday, the 20th of June, 2025. I trust that you're well and that you are enjoying the beginning of your weekend. I'm here to do yet another video. I've done a video on the enablers of that medical solution of 2020-22. But today I'm going to step off that. I want to come back to look at the source of that problem, that medical crisis of 2020. But today I want to, I'm compelled to respond or to comment on the war in the Middle East. We're all aware that there are hostilities between especially Israel and Iran. So let me start off by saying that I need to make a confession here, because I was one of those people who believed strongly in the narrative of the 1948 Israel. I even taught Bible lessons on it. I formulated a Bible course, did seminars, and included that narrative in the teaching. I believed that then that Bible prophecy was fulfilled in 1948, where God promised to bring back the people, the chosen people, back to Israel, to their land, and to establish them. And we found this in the Old Testament prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, and even the minor prophets, Hosea, and so forth, that he would bring them back, establish them, rebuild the ancient cities, and that they would prosper, and most importantly of all, they would never be defeated again. And we tended to believe that because all wars that were perpetrated against that state, they were defeated. The Arab countries around Israel were invaded Israel, but each time they invaded, they were pushed back and actually were on the run from the Israeli defense force. We saw that in the Yom Kippur War. We saw that in the 1967 war, where they regained control of Jerusalem, and the Arab countries could never dislodge them from their position there, and that tended to confirm the prophecies have been fulfilled there, that was put in your prophets that I just mentioned. So, but my confession here is that it's not true. It's a lie. It's not them. Those people that are occupying the country now originally came from Central Europe. There's history about this, and I don't want to go into that now, because that is quite a topic on its own. Just to mention that they are referred to as the Ashkenazis. And it was a group of a nation that converted to Judaism way back when, and that therefore we say that's not them. And to confirm that from the Bible, you'll find in Deuteronomy 28, there's a scripture there, prophetic, especially the end part of Deuteronomy 28. I'll read it for you, verse 68. And the Lord will bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So there was another exile that was prophesied. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And that was over 2,000 years, and it's still true today. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now that needs to be unpacked, but I'm just giving you a general viewpoint in this video of the scripture that indicates that the original Hebrews were to be sold out of their disobedience to the covenants and so on with God. They would be sold as slaves and would be taken away in ships into slavery. And we know in history that happened to a certain group of people, but it did not happen to these people from Central Europe. They were not taken away on ships, and they never lived as slaves. And here in Deuteronomy 28, it refers to them as being sold as bondsmen and bondwomen, and they would not see their land, again. Now, well, in terms of that, the generation that was sold, they all died and they didn't see their land again. They were slaves. So these people that are now occupying the territory there, they were never sold as slaves. They are actually being for centuries very successful in business and had possessions. They were never slaves. So that is the scripture that I'm confirming that narrative of them being the chosen people is incorrect. And you'll see in the book of Revelation, and I won't read it for you, I would actually encourage you to go and read Revelations 2, especially verse 9, which makes a strong indictment against these people, and Revelations 3, verse 9. So remember that, Revelations chapter 2, verse 9, and Revelations 3, verse 9. Now today, let's look at today. Israel kind of invaded Iran, ostensibly over a nuclear development of nuclear weapons there to prevent that, and they were backed by the USA. But now, after that, both Israel and the USA are in shock. They never expected Iran to hit back, especially with sophisticated weaponry like missiles. And we find in recent days that Israel, the defense dome that they bragged about all the years, has been breached, and that the missiles are actually reaching into Israel in cities like Haifa and Tel Aviv. And the USA and Israel expected Iran to capitulate, that their government would be changed, etc., and they would sue for peace after this onslaught of Israel. So the actual facts is that the city of Tel Aviv is in shatters now. There's huge destruction. People are constantly going to bomb shelters, and the city cannot work. And so that is the economic hub of Israel. And basically we can say that Tel Aviv is not functioning. And yes, the thing. Most of the world are not aware of the realities. They think that Iran is basically ready to capitulate, but that's not true. The mainstream media wants to carry out that narrative, but social media, of course, with people have phones, smartphones, etc., posting on social media, etc., the truth is actually coming out. So the actual thing now is that the infrastructure of Israel is now in tatters, and basically Israel will be defeated. The Israel that we know of, the 1948 Israel, which is not the real Israel, as I'm trying to argue here. The people will be cast out there, they'll be evicted, and already they're leaving. The Israeli government has made a law to prevent people escaping out of the country, but they can only do that with flights that leave the country. So people can't use the flights, but actually people are using the sea. They're getting on boats and land borders, trying to escape the destruction that's taking place there. They are leaving. They're fleeing already. And the lie has been exposed. The lie that has held for decades, that even now a huge portion of the Christian world believes that Israel is going to be victorious. They support that Israel, but they're not aware of what I just said now about Deuteronomy 28 and Revelations 2 and 3. I will speak more about this in future. I just wanted to give you a touch. Obviously, there's going to be people who disagree vehemently with these points that I'm making here now, but they're welcome to. But my contention is this: that you will see in the coming days and weeks that this, what I said now, is going to unravel, unpack, and become reality. Unfortunately, the problem is that a lie has been sold for decades, and the media is responsible for it. And people need to realize that the media is owned by certain people, very wealthy people, people in government even, and people who influence government, especially Israel. And they basically sell the narrative of the beast system. I'll just put it like that to you. There has been reference in the earlier videos of mine about the beast system, the beast government that is already in operation at this present time. So it's the weekend. Enjoy your weekend further.